So we're Brunel University film students, so basically we're making a film for our last year at university, and we're kind of interested in community.
I hate restraint, dear. I think it's revolting. I think it's absolutely revolting. I do really. I would never have moved here if it hadn't been for my daughter.
That button.
Is that a button? Ooh.
Maybe they released the dogs.
You know what? That wouldn't surprise me right now. Knock on this. I don't think we're getting into this house somehow.
Do you want to go up and knock on the door and we'll stay here with the camera?
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
Okay.
I don't reckon anyone's in.
Oh my god. Was she nice? Or?
She was really nice. She said she's got a visitor at the moment, but if we come back in half an hour, she'll be happy to be on camera.
Wow.
Awesome.
Half an hour. We got a date with our old lady. Woohoo!
I get way too excited about this.
Would you like a cake?
I will.
I made them.
You did? Whoa, wow. I'm going to have that with my cup of coffee now.
Enjoy it.
Well, if I'm not here when you knock next time, you'll know.
Now we're going on the ferry. This is the student house.
Very educated guess that this might be students. You ready?
Yep.
Come on. Hello.
Hi.
Do you guys like a cake?
Oh, I'll take one, thank you. Thank
We're
you.
buttering you up.
Yeah.
Nice one,
Talk to us. We'll give you cakes.
You want to come in or? Is it?
Yeah, sure. Oh, the gates are open.
Oh yeah, are they?
Inviting.
Would you come in?
Is that okay?
It's okay if you film that.
What if I shoe, shall we?
You're not going to film me, are you?
This was my parents' house, so I lived here since 1946. I suppose because it is quite an expensive area, so it's not sort of a first-time buyers area usually. I would say so. There aren't many young people here, are there?
No.
Yeah, it's a nice, quiet neighbourhood. Nice housing. I noticed that there's quite a few. I mean, the people that own the houses along here are kind of like not old, but I would say in their like 50s and up. Yeah, I haven't seen any like young people around this part here, apart from students, you know, tenants and stuff. Yeah.
There are at least half a dozen properties within a very short distance that are all rented out now. So the people aren't permanent, and that doesn't really gel you to want to be in touch with those people, you know.
Everybody knows everybody where I come from, and because they've lived there most of their lives, and they've all grown up together.
You are a bit cliquey, the West Drayton people, because they went to school with each other and they still know each other. That day that you came round and I said, I've got a visitor, he was in my class at West Drayton Primary.
I mean, usually when you move into a neighbourhood, you just like, you get a welcome. Knock on the door.
Did anyone approach you or welcome you in?
No.
I mean, I know people, but not sort of you go around and say hello type of thing and grab a cup of coffee or something. Yeah.
Used to wave to this person and wave to that person, but they're not around anymore. But that's partly because of our age.
The people next door introduced themselves the day we moved in. They came round, brought a bottle of wine and said hello, and if we needed anything.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And we've been quite close to them ever since.
People are quite sociable, but if you don't join in, they're not gonna come to you.
Oh, there was a brothel over the road. Yeah, that's right. That was number 12. Where your students now are, the other students.
high-class hookers,
They
weren't
were,
they?
they were good-looking girls, yeah.
Oh, lovely. That was when Alan started doing front garden.
Yeah, I used to like it out in the front.
And they used to say hello, didn't they?
Yeah, of course they did.
They,
Yeah,
they were a couple of real gorgeous girls.
But we were very naive, and whatever they did it very quietly. So there might not have been any M&S. Oh no, it's S&M, isn't it?
All right. Yeah. Has anyone mentioned about the parking of the cars down the street?
We've had some.
Yeah, because nearly everybody's got a drive, and yet they still put their vans and lorries on you know, down the road.
That neighbour decided to park his caravan on our drive without asking, like no permission.
No
and
permission.
then when we approached him, he was like, "Oh, the landlord said, yeah, I can park here."
They moved in on June the 1st. They had a party on June the 1st. A big party. That was alright. They were moving in.
Oh, okay.
They've had a few since though.
There's a lot of noise going on, girls squealing and all that sort of stuff. So you have a look outside. I couldn't see much, to be honest, because we've got a big tree in the front garden, and I had a poke around and I thought, well, I can't see anything. But there was a lot of noise. But it was no noisier than anyone else's really loud party.
Because I live in a long drive, I don't know half of what goes on. I rely on Linda, my neighbour. She keeps me informed of what's gone on.
Yeah, it was basically a little get together that we had. Yeah. And you know, we had people from the university come. A little bit of music.
The day before that, we tested the music, how it actually sounded outside.
And even on the day we tested the sounds, you know, we made sure that
we kept walking outside, making sure walking around the corners to make sure it wasn't too loud.
The tiles were nearly bouncing off the roof with the music.
Police came.
Yeah,
they said the noise was. They said the noise. But they didn't complain about the noise. They just said keep people inside so there's no people making noise outside. Oh, okay. And then they left us to it.
I mean, the neighbours they exaggerated.
The party as overall was contained to just our property.
And we're talking about 40 or 50 people in the street as well.
In the street?
Yeah, because they couldn't get in the house.
Oh, there were 3 people in next door's garden. There were people in that garden.
Yeah.
Yes.
There were people in other people's
Well,
gardens.
they were on holiday, so they just decided that they would, you know, they didn't want to smoke outside their friend's house, so they wouldn't have smoked in next door's garden.
And other things.
We were fortunately we were away in our caravan at that particular time. At weekend week we were away, so we could only comment on what our next door neighbour.
It was pretty horrendous.
Described.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stories going around, people urinating in the front gardens and all that sort of stuff, but I can't say I saw that, you know.
We'd have been looking at even more, wouldn't we?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be slightly interested.
We have had to endure quite a lot of noise.
And I went round there once when I'd got company here, was sitting out in the garden, and asked them if they could just turn it down a bit. Because when I come back round here, they just turned it up and then sprayed water over the fence. And the police at the neighbourhood watch, he said if that is actually abuse, if they'd have known that about before. Oh, it's an assault, yeah.
There's one time, one of the people in this house was hanging their clothes outside, and there was no more space left on the line outside, and they decided to hang it over the fence. And the neighbour decided to take the edge of her broom. They're just like physically damaging our property.
Well, that's it. Somebody's been complaining. They're complaining about us, and we've been complaining about them. So it's been a
how do you sort of
two-way street.
Meet it halfway? You know, it's difficult, really. And as I say, if I passed them in the street, I wouldn't know them to sort of say hi, hello, or whatever.
Everyone was that age once. I mean, I got into a few scrapes with other people.
Did you?
You know, you never know what might happen out of all of this. It might come together. And for them to understand us as well as us to understand them.
That's right.
I think the video aired all the views of all the neighbours on the street quite precisely, really.
I think it's been a good idea because it does bring together. I mean, we've obviously got a bit of hassle, haven't we? Had a bit of hassle, particularly between you and
unfortunately
and next door and Julie and Jeff. Shame they're not here, really. And I think it gives you an opportunity to get together and talk about it, doesn't it, really? Because it seems the obvious solution is that.
It's just
I only
this
came round to you
noise that you
once,
create.
and that was because somebody was sitting in my garden with me, saying, you should go around and do something about it. And the person that was with me actually works at a university. And she said if you were in the Hall of Residence, you would not be allowed to have it as loud as that.
With the situation with the clothes hanging over the fence, that was my main thing that I wanted to air in the video. If you just let me finish quickly.
Just don't do that.
No, if you just let me finish quickly. With the clothes hanging over the fence, it would have been more appropriate for the neighbours to come round and just address us and say, you know, if you could just remove your clothes. Obviously, you don't do that in the neighbourhood, but we've just moved into the neighbourhood, so we wouldn't know anyway. So.
Well, why wouldn't you know? It's not at my place to say to you, don't hang it out. I just was shocked to see it, actually.
Definitely.
I was really shocked to see it.
If there is a problem and you do have an issue,
I did call.
Usually you do call over.
I did, and nobody answered me.
Yeah.
When you first moved in,
Yes,
I could feel the excitement of it, and I could understand how you felt. And I was going to give you a week, myself, personally, to calm the music down, let you get out of your excitement out of you, because that's what you were. You were all excited. I can totally go along with that. But it was taken out of my hands. Don't laugh, because it's not really funny.
Right. Sorry, folks, but a bit too upset about it. Because you haven't made our life easy.
No, that's not the point.
No.
I just feel as if I'm having the mickey taken out of me, and I don't like that.
Okay, so just be understanding and be tolerant, because you know we've lived here so long and we don't need excessive noise.
Thank
you. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Well, that went down well, didn't it? That was a real success. You know, I mean, this lot have been noisy, but not excessively noisy. They haven't been a problem. If they were, I'd go and talk to them and see what they said. But they're not. Really, they're not.
How do you feel about approaching? If you saw some people in the street now, how would you feel about saying hello or whatever to your neighbours?
I'd say hello.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've made this thing that we're here, and obviously they've seen us, so they know us. So there's no point.
I must be honest. I wouldn't have recognised you. No. I haven't seen you. I don't. I mean, well, you said, where do I live? I mean, I live opposite.
I didn't know.
You know, I wouldn't have recognised any of you. I don't think.
It isn't friendly, and if I walk up the road, I try and make eye contact with people. And once you get eye contact, you can say hello, but people won't even look at you. You know, look down or look away, and you sort of think, do I say hello? So you don't.
That didn't go as expected. Well, either way, any way it was going to go, we didn't expect. You know, it's documentary, we're not, anything can happen. We're filming real life, it's not like it's scripted or anything.
Yeah, I think maybe the way we put stuff together, as well as certain people Julie and Jeff and Tina
couldn't make it.
Not being able to make it.
They would have acted
kind
buffers.
of concentrated the conflicts.
The race relation, that was completely accidental.
Yeah. But it's put a new meaning that we did not want on the film. We don't want that. It's not, and it has nothing to do with the issues of the street.
What's his name that was smiling here? What's his name?
Daniel. Yeah, sorry, Daniel.
But still, do you think they were taking the mickey out of her?
I think it was awkwardness, because I think he felt attacked and he didn't know how to deal with that. Situations arose, we could have managed them better. Before the situation got to its climax, I think you were like in your boom pole, you were behind your camera, and we were like, oh my god, I'm lost. We got so into our footage and into our film and our characters that we weren't able to step back and realise what we have is what we have, and let's make a film.